Future brides, your prayers have been answered. I have 70 sections all about different topics regarding the wedding planning process. What do you think about when you hear the phrase wedding planning? Do you think of high stress and being overwhelmed and not even knowing where to start? If that's you, this is so the course for you, and I've got your back, and that's why I created this course. I want your wedding planning process to be so much fun and enjoyable. I created an online self-paced course regarding wedding planning, how to plan your wedding from beginning to end, and everything else you need to know. We talk about all the vendors, all the details, and I even bring in a panel of women, of past brides, to share advice that they wish they would have learned or heard while they were planning their weddings. So get started planning your dream wedding. Hey ladies, so thankful you are a part of this course. So one of the main sections I wanted to make sure that was towards the beginning of this course is all about time management. It is so crucial that you are very good at proper time management. So I have a book to recommend to you. This was amazing. It really taught practical time management skills. And in order to accomplish everything that you are supposed to get done before the wedding, it's going to require great time management skills, because let's face it, you need time management skills because people literally have careers as wedding planners, and you are taking all of this responsibility and extra tasks, and it's taking all on yourself. And you have little experience with this probably, or no experience planning anything event type related, let alone a wedding. So we are going to need to streamline and be good users of our time. So I want to teach you some principles that I know that can help you, because if we can create good time management skills, then that will make the rest of this planning process go so much smoother and so much faster and easier. And that's what we want to do for your wedding planning experience. It does not have to be stressful. It does not have to be something that weighs you down and feels like you're constantly busy and constantly have a to-do list. So time management skills may come easier to certain personality types. I know if you are aware of like choleric, melancholy, sanguine, and phlegmatic, those are personality types. And the melancholy personality type is definitely the organized queen. So it may come easier, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible for you. So without clearly defined goals, you have no basis for making decisions on how and where to spend your time, or on how to prioritize and sift through the many choices that confront you on a daily basis. So I'm a big advocate for having a planner or having a to-do list of some kind. Like I have my planner where I record everything in one spot. So without your clearly defined goals, you really have no idea how to organize the tasks at hand when you just flippantly accept to do things and you're like, oh, I'll do this today, but I don't know the rest of the schedule for the day. Is you just get maybe a few things done instead of getting a ton done in a day. So structure doesn't destroy your creative impulses, it allows them to flourish. So after all, when your schedule is free form, you often don't get to the things that are most important to you. So I find that when I have a to-do list, when I know what needs completed in the day, I get those things done. If I don't have a to-do list for the day, I might get random things done, but I don't get everything done, or the most important things that are needing to get done, if that makes sense. So what that book really talks about is having schedule blocks. So you don't have to be super particular about this, meaning that any interruption to your schedule just completely throws you for a loop and your whole day is ruined. That's not what I'm talking about. But having schedule blocks for big picture goals. So then you can schedule in individual tasks. So what time frames of the day Are you focusing on your work or on your career, on schooling? What times of the day are you maybe working out? What times of the day are you doing chores? What times of the day are you cooking or running errands or free time with friends, free time with family, free time with your fiance, church, time with God? Like, what times of the day are you blocking out for those certain big picture goals? Because people have big picture goals when it comes to their relationship with God, when it comes to social life, when it comes to work, when it comes to household tasks like paying the bills and vacuuming and cleaning mirrors. So I have a great idea for you. I would highly suggest having a family conference call to save you time during the week. So what do I mean by that? I am definitely a very family-oriented person, and I want to stay in constant contact with my family. But like when I call my sister, then when I call my dad, I have to explain all the same stuff. And then when I call my brother, explain all the same stuff. When I call my mom, explain all the same stuff. So in order to streamline my time and make my time the most productive, I was like, hey, why don't we set up a family conference call once a week on Sunday nights when people are almost always available? That way everyone can share what they want to share, and it's one phone call instead of 4. So it's making wise use of your time. You could do that with your friends also if you have the same friends group, because when you are on crunch time planning a wedding like this, every second counts of your day because there's always something that's needing done or someone that's needing your attention. So to save any amount of time in the week is going to be beneficial for you. But please don't make yourself crazy throughout this process. Also make sure that you schedule time for yourself, like a day of rest. Schedule a day randomly where you do nothing but what you want to do, what recharges you, what gives you joy, because you may go crazy or have a few mental breakdowns crying if you do not have time for self-care in this whole wedding planning process. Take my advice. So also make sure you schedule date nights with your fiance. You don't want to only talk about planning the wedding. You want to also have great conversations like you did when you were dating. So you don't want everything to be revolving around wedding planning, because then your fiance will feel like he lost his girlfriend and now he just gained a crazy bridezilla. No. So make sure you schedule date nights that are intentional to continue to build and blossom your relationship as well. And plus, you want to schedule out that quality time for your significant other, for your fiance, so that he still knows that he's priority in your life as well. Obviously, like, God is first priority, but you know what I meant. So also a great skill that you need to learn to do is to learn to estimate how long tasks will actually take you to complete. If you're like, oh yeah, that'll take me 10 minutes, but it actually takes you an hour, please notice that. So learn how long certain tasks take you to complete. If it takes you a half hour to construct an email, then don't schedule 5 minutes for emails and knowing you'll have to respond to 5 emails. That's not logical, that's not practical. That's how people get inundated and feel swarmed and feel like they are drowning in their to-do list, is because they don't know how long it will actually take for them to accomplish certain tasks. So get good at that, and that will really help you manage your time and be practical about what you can complete in one day. And don't get discouraged because people overestimate what they can get done in one day, but they underestimate what they can get done in this span of a year if your engagement is a year. You will get it all done. Trust me, you can do it. You are capable. I also suggest assigning start and end times to each item on your to-do list. So if you are carving out 3 hours to focusing on wedding planning, if the 3 hours is up, and you have a friend that you need to go hang out with, or you have chores to get done, or you have a project that you need to work on for school, or a report that you need to get done for work, make sure you are diligent and make sure you are disciplined to stop working when you know you need to. That's why I suggest having those sectioned off, carved out allotted amounts of time for those certain tasks or those big picture goals. Because if you're like me, you're more prone to keep working on something until it's done. I have a hard time stopping in the middle of something. But you don't want all of your attention to get focused on one big picture goal, which would be the wedding, that all of your other big picture goals, like time with God, would suffer, or your social life would suffer, or your work life suffers because you're so focused on planning your wedding that everything else falls by the wayside. So get disciplined at stopping working on your wedding or stopping doing your chores and actually start working on your wedding. You see what I mean? So additionally, I know people say, oh, it's good to take a break. But I do want you to be aware of this, that on average, it takes about 30 minutes to refocus after you take a break on something. To get back in the mode of training your brain, to get back to where your place was, like what was I doing? What task was I working on? Where was I in this specific project? And also to get just back in the zone. So if you can keep working, keep working. Of course, breaks are helpful in the right context, but don't be taking a break every 30 minutes because you're not even going to get into the zone of getting something accomplished very easily. An idea I have for you is to have a list of potential tasks that you can get done in your free time. What do I mean by that? So oftentimes throughout our day, we encounter spare increments of time where we have 5 minutes of free time here, 15 minutes of free time here, maybe 30 minutes of free time here. But over the course of the whole day, that free time adds up to a lot of time in which you could be getting certain things done. So I have a list of backup tasks of things that I could do, maybe that aren't a big priority on my list, but things I could do that might take around 5 minutes. So whenever I encounter a free 5 minutes in my day, I can look at that list and say, okay, I'll get that done. And then I feel productive. Or if I have 15 minutes of free time in between appointments and I'm at home, I'm like, okay, what on my list would take roughly about 15 minutes to do? And then perfect. Choose that task, get it done, and then I'm on to the next scheduled thing for my day. So it's awesome even if something gets canceled and you're like, I was supposed to have this appointment or this duty that I was supposed to do today or this meetup with someone, but they canceled. So now I have a free hour. What should I do? I look at my list, see what would take an hour. Maybe it's working out and you're like, perfect, I'll work out. Or perfect, I need to call this friend or I need to call this vendor for the wedding, but I just haven't had time for it. I have this open space now. How can I use my time productively instead of scrolling on social media or watching an episode of TV? You see what I mean? So also make wise use of your time while you are waiting or while you're commuting. So if you're comfortable with having a Bluetooth phone, obviously I'm not talking about texting while you're driving or holding a phone while you're driving, but if your car has Bluetooth capabilities, maybe make a phone call while you're driving so you can be catching up with your friends or calling vendors about questions that you have. And that way you are not just driving and listening to music, but being productive while you're driving. Or same thing if you are waiting. If you're in a waiting room, have your planner with you so you can be accomplishing things or organizing tasks for the day or figuring out your to-do list, or bring a book with you so you're reading, you're doing something productive. Now, when I say have a planner and record everything there, I literally mean have a planner and record everything there. I'll be the first to tell you, I am the sticky note queen. I have a lot of sticky notes and they can accumulate very quickly. So what I learned to do is, if I was writing myself a reminder on a sticky note to do something on a certain day, I will stick the sticky note on that specific day in my planner. And it's perfect because it eliminates forgetting things because it's all in one place. If I have a sticky note on my desk, if I have a sticky note on the refrigerator, if I have a sticky note on the bathroom counter where I remember something, if I have a sticky note on my bedside table, I can't organize all that. It's not all in one place. I'm bound to forget something. And if I have a mountain of sticky notes, I won't see all of them. So what helps is to record everything in your planner so all the information is in one place. Additionally, if you are deciding to have your planner in your phone, record everything in your phone. Make sure everything is in one location. So my next piece of advice for you is to delete tasks, delegate tasks, or routinize and simplify. So what you can do if you are just like so overwhelmed with planning your wedding and you're so overwhelmed with how much time it's going to take and how much mental energy, then make things easy that won't cause you to use your brain power for routine items. Meaning, if you just need to come up with a meal system where you're like, okay, on Mondays, I'm going to make this. On Tuesdays, I'm going to make this. That way you're not spending time thinking about what you'll make for food or what you need to get at the grocery store. Just come up with that system of what you'll make every day while you're planning your wedding so you save time at the grocery store. You know what you need to get. There are so many things to make your life easier during this somewhat stressful season of your life of planning a wedding. Also, select certain tasks for certain days. So maybe you do all the laundry on Mondays. And so if your hamper starts heaping up with laundry, you're like, no worries, I know I'll get to that on Monday, so I don't need to get distracted and go do laundry now when I know I'm needing to accomplish this right now. Same thing with vacuuming or cleaning the toilets or the mirrors. Like, you know you'll get to it all on that day. In the week, or paying the bills. You know, I'm going to pay my bills on Saturdays, so if I have bills piling up on my desk, I don't have to freak out and get to them right at this second because I know on Saturday I'm going to get to them. So that helps take the guesswork out of when to do routine chores, and it helps get you focused on the task at hand, what's needing accomplished today, and not getting distracted by all these random things that need done. Like, what is on your to-do list today? It's so much easier when you do that. Additionally, delegate the part of the job that's most unfamiliar to you, so you don't have to take time to learn or waste time learning how to do something if someone already knows how to do it. So if there are certain tasks regarding your wedding that you don't know how to do or you need wisdom on, maybe ask your mom to do that for you, or ask your best friend to take care of that for you. That way you don't have to learn how to do it, especially if you're doing DIY decoration projects or something like that. So that's what I mean. So even possibly delegate assignments that you enjoy doing, but you may have higher priority tasks to get to. Or maybe someone could completely do the job just as efficiently as you. You have to learn to delegate. Learn to delegate. I know that can be hard, especially if you're similar to me, where you're like, I can do it. I know that it will get done if I do it. I know that I'll do it the way I want to if I do it. But like I said, you may enjoy doing something, but you have higher priority things on your list that need done. Therefore, you have to hand that task off to someone else in order to get everything done that's needing accomplished. I'm just sharing wisdom with you. So just as you can only fit so much in a closet or in a dresser drawer, you can only fit so much into your day. I know you wish you could add more hours to your day, but we just can't. We only have 24 hours in a day. So just be aware that you can't overpack things into one day. Like I said in that quote before, people overestimate what they can get done in a day, and they're like disappointed by what's still left needing done, and you feel down and discouraged. Don't. Just be aware, like I said, of estimating how long things will take for you to accomplish, and then you'll get better at realizing what is feasible for you to get done in a day, what is practical for you to get done in a day, and then you won't feel behind or discouraged. it can be dangerous if you're not able to delegate, because that allows you to get burnt out a lot faster. So in the book that I just showed you, there is an acrostic called SPACE. It stands for sort, purge, assign a home, containerize, and equalize. So that is also applicable to organizing your schedule, organizing your time. Another tip, if you are always in reactive mode, you'll not only feel out of control, but you'll also suffer tremendous losses of time and productivity. Doing things on your time when you are ready almost always saves time because you're prepared and can get to what's important. So I believe in the book that referred to maybe having a certain time frame blocked out where you are making calls. So that way you have your list of questions in front of you. You can streamline the conversation with that vendor. You get everything asked instead of maybe answering the call when the vendor calls you, and you might be on the road and you don't even have your list of questions in front of you. So you maybe ask one thing, but then you forget 3 questions. So then you have to schedule another time to call them back and you're playing phone tag. So set a certain amount of time where you are at your computer, you are with your notebook, and you are going to ask and call all of your vendors to ask these questions. It streamlines, and I've heard that when you make calls, they are actually more efficient than when you just take calls when they come in. So that's really interesting. When you assign a home to a task also, you are in command of when you will do things. So you can postpone reacting to certain tasks until you're ready. So for example, checking your email. If you continually check your email throughout the day, it is going to take time away from what is needing to get done in that allotted amount of time. So when you assign an hour to check your emails or respond to emails or draft your emails, that is the time that it's getting done. Now, that means you're in command of when you're getting those emails sent out, instead of when one comes in feeling obligated to, okay, now I need to respond to this person. Even though I'm needing to be doing all of this, I feel like I have to respond to them right now. So let me draft an email for 30 minutes and get distracted from the task that I'm actually trying to do right now. You see where I'm coming from? So, talking about goals and blocks and tasks, you want the system that you come up with for your schedule for the week to be firm enough to provide a structure for you and a reference point that allows you to achieve your goals and get everything done that you're wanting to get done. But you don't want it to be so rigid that it becomes unrealistic, or like I said earlier, throws you completely for a loop when something random comes in and you feel like the whole day or the whole week is ruined because your schedule got messed up. I know I've been at that place before, and that can be unhealthy too. So make sure you arrange tasks by their priority. Like, how urgent are they? Get to the urgent stuff first. You can arrange your tasks by the duration of how long they will take you to complete, or by your energy or interest level. Like, if you know you're going to need a lot of brain power for this and you feel most alert in the morning, make sure you schedule time to be doing it in the morning and not at night when you're exhausted and trying to go to bed or feel like you need to go to bed. Or arrange your tasks by geography, meaning if you have a bunch of errands to get done that are all in the same location, schedule to do all those errands on that particular day. And then you're not doing one errand in this area of town, driving across the city, doing another errand. Strategize, plan ahead. So plan your work and then work your plan. It works well. So like I said, containerize your tasks. Just like I said, in a container, you can only fit so many items. Same thing with your schedule. So start and end your tasks when you planned to, those blocks of time. So minimize interruptions and their impact. Maybe turn your phone on Do Not Disturb if you need to focus. You can also, this helps when you start and end in that allotted amount of time. It helps you conquer procrastination and chronic lateness, because if you know that you only have this amount of time to work on this task, you can't procrastinate and you can't be late to working on it either. And it also helps you to overcome perfectionism when you have blocked times for certain things. So maybe for 3 hours you're working on decorations, and if you're like me, you're like, no, I want to work till it's done and I don't care if I have to stay up and pull an all-nighter. No, you have to be realistic. You have to schedule time for you, for self-care. So containerizing tasks, making sure you start and end when you actually planned that allotted amount of time to be there. Also, don't schedule everything in your calendar too tightly that you have absolutely no room to handle interruptions or crises, because life does throw curveballs at us and sometimes we have to rearrange our schedule. So just be able to do that. Don't be so structured that you can't. Be able to send back quick emails or texts, meaning you can just send a quick response to the sender, letting them know that you received the text and that you're working on it, or that you will respond to them with a more thorough answer when you have the time. That way, if you are busy the entire day and you get a text in the morning, you're like, got it, I will get to you later. They at least know you received the email or the text, but then you don't feel obligated to spend 15 to 20 minutes drafting an email then, or getting the information to them right then and there. It's courteous, but it's also helping you stay on task and on streamline for your to-do list for the day. Like I mentioned earlier, make outgoing calls. Maybe don't answer every phone call when they come in. If you are in the middle of a project and your best friend calls you, maybe say, hey, can I call you back at this time when you have free time or when it's your relaxing time? So it is proven that it's a shorter duration phone call when you make the call rather than when you just answer the phone. Additionally, procrastination is the biggest enemy of a successful planned day. And I have lived this out. So when you get a late start on the day, it can make one activity spill over into the time allotted for the next activity, causing a domino effect that ultimately leaves many items off of your to-do list. And I've also experienced the fact that when I get a late start on the day, I just feel like the whole day is kind of wasted, or it's not as productive as I wanted. Therefore, I might as well just let it kind of be a lazy day because I'm not being as productive as I wanted. No, don't look at it in that way. At least get something done. You can get something done even if you got a late start or even if you got an interruption. You can still get a lot done. Once you are in motion, working on something, when you are in the zone, you will be so surprised at how your energy and momentum build. So when I'm in the zone creatively, like I keep compounding on what the information that I have, and I get so energized and inspired, and it's exciting. So that's helpful when you're in the zone. Like I said, when you're not distracted, limit your distractions, please. That's important. Additionally, something that really helped me is movable Post-it notes. So what I did, and I'll try to give you an example. Okay, so this is back from March. So what would happen is I would have sticky notes like these on random days, and I would stick them on the day, and if I didn't get to it that day, I would be able to just move the sticky note to the next day. So therefore it carries over to the next day. The next day is to-do list. So that's really helpful that they can keep moving on your planner. So you don't have to re-record everything. You simply take the sticky note, place it on the next day, or place it on the day that you need to take care of it. All right. Tip on overcoming perfectionism here is when you have something waiting for you on the other side of the deadline, aka like another task to do, you're much more inspired to get the first thing done and move on to the next. So if I know I'm working on emails right now and I have a project for work that I'm needing to get to, I, in the back of my mind, know that I have to get these emails done in this amount of time because I have to get this project for work done. Therefore, I'm not going to be nitpicky and focusing on, did I word this right in the email? Like, are all the details there? Am I missing something? I'm going to do my best. I'll draft the email. I'll get everything in that I know to get in. But then I will move on to my project for work because I know that there's something that's needing to be done outside of this first task. Hopefully you are following me. So expanding a task in order to fiddle with it or edit it some more will force you to make trade-offs that you might not want to make. So if you're like, well, I don't know if I got this decoration, all these centerpieces for the wedding perfectly, like I still want to make them better, I want to tweak it, just know that that might take away from you working on sending off your invitations, and there's trade-offs to everything regarding your schedule. So every 2 months, review your big picture goals to make sure that it supports your current goals and any changes happening in your life. So obviously, like once you're done planning your wedding, you won't have to schedule time zones for working on wedding planning. Therefore, when your wedding's over, you can use that time for something else. So your goals in life change as the seasons in life progress. So just be aware of that. And there are definitely circumstances that may distract you, like relationship problems or sickness. And there are circumstances that also energize you, like a breakthrough in your career or getting tons of quality time with your fiance, that cause you to maybe get 2 days worth of work done in one morning. There are those days where you are so in the zone and you feel so on fire that you get so much done in a day that you're like, how did I get all that done in a day? But on the flip side, like I talked about, if you're having a bad day where you're struggling, you feel under the weather, or your relationship's going through a rough patch, then have some grace for yourself. And if you don't get everything done on your to-do list that you would normally get done, it's okay, because we all have those days. So give yourself some room to have some grace on days like that. Additionally, if you have an off day like that, if you're in a funk, if you just feel like you aren't getting things accomplished that are needing accomplished, make sure you ask yourself these questions like, were you overbooked? Were you overbooked? Did you have too much on your schedule that it was simply impractical? Like there was no way you were going to get all of it done anyway. Or if you're having an off day, were you underbooked? Were you too tired? Like, are you needing to rest? Because sometimes we can get so burnt out that we just need to rest, and that's why we aren't as efficient with our time. You may just need a rest day. Also, if you're having an off day, were you especially stressed that day? If you are stressed, it's harder to focus, it's harder to get things done. Or was there a random event that happened that derailed you? So have some grace, but also learn to identify, like, why was it that you had an off day? Why did you have a day that was not super productive? Find those specific reasons. That way you can maybe prevent it from happening in the future, or just be practical with what you're capable of accomplishing in one day. So obviously, when you start implementing all of these techniques that I've shared with you, it may feel like a lot of work at first, but at some point you'll notice that your time is actually way more under control and you are able to get a lot more done, and you're working towards goals that are meaningful to you and you're achieving them. Like you're checking things off your list. So that will actually encourage you to pick up the momentum and keep going, because you'll feel really full of confidence. You will feel very proud of yourself for getting everything done in this short amount of time. And I know, like, I really needed this because I planned an entire wedding in 5.5 months. 5.5 months, you guys, from start to end. So yes, I needed good time management skills. I needed good organizational skills, because this wedding is not going to plan itself, honey. You know that. A majority of it is going to be left up to you as the bride. That is just kind of how the chips fall. That's what happens. So I want you to have the tools and the mentality to be able to do so. A lot of this responsibility of wedding planning is going to fall on your shoulders. And so we're going to have to, in order to get everything done that you would normally do in a week, plus adding the giant task of planning a wedding into the mix, some things are going to have to give, or you're going to have to get more intentional about how you use your time and manage it wisely. So hopefully this helped give you some practical ideas on how you can incorporate great time management skills into your new routine. It's good to know these right off the bat as you start diving into this huge task of planning your wedding. So hopefully these help you and not stress you out. My whole goal is to make this wedding planning process easier and less stressful for you, and time management skills are a fantastic way to make that achievable. So thanks for watching this section, and please continue on.
Beyond that, y'all, we don't just do life and relationship videos. We have our bonus Fridays where we put up life and relationship videos. We feel led to do a Friday video. But also, if you go to jamesandjazz.com, click on that videos tab, it'll scroll you down to 3 different sections of videos that we film. We do spiritual videos on Monday, where we've done topical stuff. Right now, we're actually doing Bible study with all the book of James. Now we're in the book of John. Then we'll go into another book, and so on and so forth as we feel led. So I think you'll really enjoy some of the spiritual videos that we have, and it'll help you to grow spiritually. We want to help you to grow mentally, spiritually, and physically.
And relationally.
Which leads me to the second topic, is physically fit videos. And we're trying to help you to get in shape, to work out. If you're planning for a wedding, you still got to get those workouts, and that'll help you to have more energy and just feel better about yourself. So whatever you're doing in life, it's so important to do your body a favor and work out. And I know that a lot of people don't have a lot of time. Maybe you don't want to drive to the gym. Well, we've done a lot of stuff right here at the house, in our studio here. We've done workouts with dumbbells, workouts with resistance bands, cardio in place. We've done a little bit of kettlebell stuff. So we're showing you how you can work out at home with the equipment that you have. They are full-length workouts, so you work out with us. And then there's also instructional videos where we show you the exercises quickly. You can take notes and do it on your own time. But I think that these videos will bless you. And then on our final section, our final tab when you click on videos is that life and relationships. As I said already, that is our bonus Friday videos where we talk about what's going on in our life, which the wedding was going on in our lives, and that also relates to relationship stuff. So life and relationships is a great tab as well. We have our how we met video in that section, and a lot of other different stuff. We have our wedding, we have our proposal, bachelorette party, all that different stuff. So you guys can learn a little bit about us and what we've done in life. And beyond that, when you're on our homepage, just if you scroll to the top of the bottom, you're going to see our social media links. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, be sure to follow and like, and YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube. And when you scroll to the bottom of the page, you're going to see our subscribe to our email list. Encourage you to do that so you can see when new courses come out, because I think she's thinking about working on new courses.
Yes.
And you can also, on the bottom of that homepage, you can book us to come and speak at speaking engagement. We look at chapels at Christian schools, and maybe you want us to come and put on a workout somewhere, or speak at a Christian retreat, whatever it may be, or a conference. Yeah, we would love to do that. So just send us the details in the book us section. And anything I'm missing, my love?
Yeah, if you would like to partner with us, we would appreciate all of your prayer for our ministry. And then you can also partner with us financially if you feel led. No obligation, but on our website, jamesandjazz.com, there's a tab up at the top that says donate, and it instructs you on how you can donate via PayPal, Patreon, or Venmo. So thank you. Every little bit helps. And yeah, we love you guys, and we hope that this video encourages you to plan the wedding of your dreams stress-free to your dream man, and it's going to be great. Enjoy.
All right,
love you
take
guys.
her easy, y'all.